I'm going to show you a clip. It's going to infuriate you, and then we are going to talk about it. Let me give you a little bit of heads up about what we are looking at. There is a Christian ministry. It's basically two sisters. It's called Girl Defined. And basically, it's promoting purity culture. They've been doing that for years. The two sisters were promoting purity culture, which is harmful. And then they both got married. And now it's basically a sex is amazing. And sex when you're married is even better. That's all they talk about. But also, they're still promoting purity culture and abstinence only everything. And anyway, I've talked about them for other reasons. Recently, one of the sisters, her name is Kristen Clark, she decided she was going to do a live interview or like a live streamed interview with a guy named Patrick Flynn. He has doctor in front of his name, but I think he's a chiropractor, so it doesn't even count. But she was going to interview this dude who supposedly knows a lot about hormones and these types of issues. And I'm going to play like a minute 30-second clip for you. It's several clips strung together. And I just want you to see what he says that is harmful, how she pushes back or doesn't. And one thing I want you to know, I don't think I'm spreading any gossip here because she's spoken publicly about it, is that she had trouble conceiving a child. I think she adopted a child, but she had trouble conceiving, and she's been public about that. And watch what this dude says about women and whether or not they can have babies. Okay, here's the clip, then we'll talk about it. It's, again, several clips mashed into one.
I just have this weird theory that God created women to have babies. If you got a uterus, you should be able to pop out kids like Skittles. You know what I'm saying? And
I need to learn how to do this. I've been trying, but it hasn't been working.
Well, why do we even allow these things that are birth control, which is just absolutely disgusting? I can't understand the Christian community doesn't grasp on that birth control alters you both physically and mentally, and even how you view the world, even how you view a guy. That's why sometimes women, they get married and they're Christians who are on birth control, and all of a sudden they get off birth control and because they want to have a baby and look at the man and go, I don't love you anymore. Well, it's something wrong. There must be Satan in our world or something like that. No, you've been altered by endocrine disruptor that now even how you view your spouse is extremely different. Here's what happens. But see, let's see if we take, sorry, but you brought yourself up, so I'm going to bring it on this since
okay.
You said it. You want more sex than he does, but here's what happens but you're also sick. Do you see him? See, women don't admit they're sick. If you have high estrogen, you're sick. It's not normal. Do you say it's going to lead, and you don't have any fire yet, like a disease, so they say, well, we'll wait till you fall apart. Right? There's no woman that's supposed to have a six-pack. It's impossible. You're not a man. And the Christian community falls for this BS. Yeah, but they also fell for COVID too, so we won't even go that direction. But that's a whole
we won't go there on this episode.
Yeah.
So what are some steps?
Haha, notice how she quickly tried to pivot away from that last one. I see someone in the comments saying, like, never thought I could feel sorry for her, but don't. You know why? Because this guy is spreading objectively false information, and instead of calling him out on it, she just pivots or just lets it slide. That first one where he's like, women, if you have a uterus, you should be popping out babies like Skittles or whatever he said, to a woman who has openly talked about her infertility problems. Like, oh my God, besides being insensitive and just cruel, that's not how it works. Like, not every woman, not every person with a uterus can just pop out babies. You would know that if you've talked to, more than a woman in your life, and especially one who has struggled with that. So that guy's brought on to dispense information. He lied about what birth control does, as if that makes you hate your husband or something like that. Like, there might be hormonal issues with birth control pills, no doubt, but it's different depending on who's taking it. Everyone has a different reaction to it. Hopefully you are talking to a quality doctor when you're taking it and about any changes that you're going through. He also said women can't have six packs. I think later elsewhere in that conversation, he said like women shouldn't be competing in any sort of competitive sport. I mean, it's just bad information. Look, I don't mind having an online discussion with people you disagree with, especially if they're spreading misinformation. Like, there's an argument to be made. You shouldn't give them a platform at all. But there is value to bringing on people you disagree with for like having a conversation about this stuff. What is not acceptable in my mind is bringing on someone like that who doesn't know this stuff, who spreads lies about this stuff as an endorsement, because that's what that was in her case, and then not calling out the stuff that he's saying that even she knows is wrong. She could speak to it from experience, but she doesn't do that. She just lets it slide. Maybe that's a purity culture. Maybe that's a conservative Christian upbringing thing. Like, you respect your elders, you respect the people in authority, you respect a man if you're a woman. So she doesn't want to call him out on that stuff. But then don't bring him on in the first place. You could do 2 seconds of research and find out this guy's a quack, but she still brought him on. And again, their audience, primarily, if I have it right, is a lot of younger Christian girls who look to those girls for advice and mentorship. And for them to be bringing on someone like that as some sort of qualified expert in things he clearly knows nothing about is really, really disturbing. And I think this video is on my channel, but a couple months ago, Kristen's sister, Bethany, had invited a sex therapist couple onto her show. And that was disturbing for so many reasons. I'll see, Dan, maybe you could find that link in my YouTube channel where it was Girl Defined talking, Bethany is her name, talking to this couple. But that was even more disturbing because that couple knew even less about the subject than this guy knew about his. Don't bring on these people to tell impressionable young Christian women how they should be thinking about this stuff. It's a disservice. And this guy is basically insulting her to her face, and she doesn't want to address it. It's, oh my God. Like, they say and do a lot of things, that ministry. Those sisters say a lot of things that make me mad. But that was a new level of, oh my God, I'm mad for you on your behalf. And I'm also mad that you thought young Christian girls needed to hear what this guy has to say because he's wrong and he's cruel about it. And what are you thinking? It's awful.